Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyaye sifunde incwadi ebhalwe ngolimi lwethu lesiZulu bese sizala sokhuluma ngazo le incwadi esisuke sizifundile sixoxela laba phela abasuke bengenaso isikhathi sokuthi bayifunde incwadi nalabo abasuke benqena nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese sizala sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senza ama reviews or ama recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga any other issues avukayo mangabe lama shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Namhlanje na-ke senza i-review of Somizi Living the Dream season 5 episode 2. Listen, you guys, I'm just trying, like I'm just feeling like sibuka, what do you call it, EPR EPR team got so busy at work with this show, honestly, and you know, I'm not enjoying it as much as I used to enjoy it, because everything that happens on this show is a response to something that happened off the show. So it's like we can't even get to enjoy the show and enjoy seeing the fun things that Somizi does on in his normal life, because he just looks buga everything that happened before his show began. Now he has to respond. I don't know, I'm just not enjoying that part of the show, but at the same time I do understand Uguti, he never got a chance to respond, and that's probably why he didn't respond to a lot of things that were happening outside of the show. He just felt like, listen, my show is coming, I'm gonna get a chance to say everything that I need to say, and I'm on my show. I hate the way that this episode began, because when I was watching, I was like, did I click on the wrong episode? Because remember last week the beginning of the episode was Uba Homo and her mom, and then the beginning of this episode was Uba Homo and her mom at the restaurant again, and I was like, did I change clothes? Is it last week episode? And I'm like, but it's episode 2. I thought I was on the wrong episode. I don't know if they saw what, and they actually did it exactly like they did episode 1. So the meeting, I don't know, lunch, breakfast, whatever, at the restaurant, they're looking nice. Mama Bahom, listen, Mama Bahom didn't come to play, you know, and she's working on getting a place again in season 6. She is busy this season making sure that the producers bring her back for season 6. That's all I can say about her, because I feel like she's really working. She's working more than the main cast member at this point. So I guess they'll sit down this time. Ubahome is saying she wants to have a conversation about her changing her surname to Umhlongo. And so they start having that conversation. Listen, I feel like it's strange in relationship Homo and her mom, because it's like they seem to be spending a lot of time together, but they're very disconnected in their conversation. Like, and I feel like sometimes as parents we do make that mistake. Like, it's like we become how can I say it? Like, ngathi siyafundisa ufuna ukumfundisa to understand izinto ngendlela yakhe, no izinto zenziwa kanje, instead of taking the time to understand their perspective. And I think it just feels a conversation is like bakhuluma ngento eyodwa, but because they come from two different schools of thought, it just sounds and feels disconnected, the conversation yabo. Of course, Umagabahomo, you know, rightfully so, feels like Ubahomi faneke kuhlawulwe, Somizi faneke ahlawule ukuze akwazi ukuthi officially to change the surname. I assume ukuthi ba maZulu komalume kaBahomi, and vele amaZulu, you know, uma ngabe uzala ingane yangahlawula wangagana futhi lapho wangashada lapho, leyo ngane la yekababa wakho. In fact, even if ihlawuliwe, you know, ekababa wakho leyo ngane leyo izalele ekhaya ingane kababa wakho, because ukuhlawula umuntu usuke ugeza intombi, ugeza umuzi ukuthi ene uhlambalaza umuzi, but akuyona ingane yakho leyo, ingane yasekhaya, ingane kamama nobaba leyo isale ekhaya ma uyoshada, if ungashadanga la yakhona. Okay, traditional anyway. Of course, people are free to do things different. But then there's another process that you have to do if ukuthi ngani usufuna ukuthatha manje and change isibongo kube esakho, even though ungamshadanga uma wayo. I do understand ukuthi uMagabahomo comes from that school of thought, but Ubahomi yena different generation, because she doesn't understand the argument kama wakhe ukuthi you can't just change your surname and uzozibiza ngomhlongo amadlozi akamhlongo awakwazi. She's like, how can abadala bakamhlongo bangangazi, you know? And it's a valid question. How can they not know me? For an example, ugogo wakhe just passed now. You mean now Somizi being idlozi akasamazi manje all of a sudden ubahome, because ubahome is using his name that is not, you know, esakamhlongo, you know? So for ubahome it has no logic ukuthi angathi akaziwa abantu ba amadlozi akamhlongo just because just because isename yakamhlongo azangaze kuhlawulo or whatever. So I understand leyo, and I don't think that umawakhe is willing to listen to her and hear her. At this point, you guys, home is an adult, she could just go to Home Affairs and change her surname and then let her parents take care of the rest of the stuff. But I guess she wants to do it while she is in agreement with her parents, and I just feel like it's gonna be a whole lot of conversations to convince them. I don't understand, you guys. Somizi is not poor. I don't know why she would wait and not do it. You know, I don't understand it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. Now, understand it, and why would this conversation only be important now? Anyway, we'll find out, I guess, as the season moves along. But it just ends up not a conversation. It ends up being azwani kahle, because Ubahom just feels like she should be allowed in the to sort out izinto that they didn't sort out for her to change her surname. I understand, and Umawake feels like, but you can't do that because my father will have a problem with you just changing the surname without doing things the right way. So yeah, it made me sad a little bit, that conversation, because I just felt like she wasn't being heard, Ulona Ubahome. And then there was a Christmas lunch somewhere that Ulona Somizi attended, and obviously PR stand, they had to have a conversation. Uvusinova is just there to have these conversations about all of these people that have said all of these things about Somizi. But anyway, it was a fabulous party. People were looking great. Yeah. Anyway, Christmas party, you know. And then they have a conversation with Somizi with Uvusinova about, we all know, even though Unazi. Honestly, I did hear about falling out between the two of them, but I did not know how it happened, because they were so close. Apparently, Unati had said that she believes accusation Somizi, and had likened him to R. Kelly, you guys, and he didn't like that. Honestly, you guys, I wouldn't understand why Unati would do that online if you are friends with somebody, because I thought that Unati and Somizi were as close friends as Somizi with Losha Cooper. So I would think that you would just call your friend and sit down with him, and even if you feel like that, you would tell him, this is how I feel, my friend. I feel like I believe domestic abuse allegations, I believe sexual whatever accusations, you know, clarify, or we can no longer be friends. The fact that she did it on social media, you know, I don't know why she would do that. Maybe that friend value was not that important to her. Somizi was not as important as a friend to her, Ulona, Unat. But that's what caused the falling out. I don't know. He so much doesn't say if he ever called Unati to clarify, because I will call my friend to say, friend, clarify here. I don't understand. What are you saying here? And you guys, it's a difficult thing, honestly, as a woman, if you are friends with somebody that is being accused of such things. You would say, how do you handle it? You know, do you believe what he says when he says he didn't do it, or do you just move away from that situation? Because I guess Abo Unati Nabo, they are worried about their ukuthi babukeka kanjani to umphakathi, and if you are friends with this person, then uzobukeka ngathi you agree with what they're doing, you know. So yeah, and But I mean, honestly, you guys, we can't run away from the fact that there are things that are very shady in terms of like Usomizi and these accusations. And also for me, I just remember Uguti, that interview where he was speaking to Umakji. Uguti, he was attracted to Umakji when Umakji was still allegedly a minor. That conversation has never, that was one conversation where I felt, for the first time I felt like, no, hold on, like something is not right here, something is not right. How are you admitting that you were attracted to someone who is underage? Like, it just didn't. So it may, every time that things are coming up about him, I always just remember that interview that he did, where he said that, and I felt like, are we missing something here? And I think that is why people have likened him to R. Kelly. And the thing about it is that somebody that is like that, you guys, isn't those Puma later on, like late, because right now he's unemali, he's powerful, people are scared to talk. One day, like, it's like Michael Jackson, all of a sudden when he's gone, the victims are like, no, actually it did happen. So we never know. It's scary because we could be missing something when it's right in front of us, but we don't know, So maybe Unat was feeling like that, because, you know what, I can't be associated with this person, because maybe there are possibilities that whatever that people say he is doing is right. But there was their falling out. Now he says that he never wants to speak to her again ever, but if they have to work together, he will make it clear to understand that there is no interaction between the two of them, but he will never stop people from working with her when they want to work with him. So I don't know, how would you work with somebody without talking to them? I guess that's why in Idols then it had to be one or the other, because then how would they interact with each other on that table as the judges? And yeah, I guess that was the PR whatever that they were doing. And then there's a book signing. I don't know where the book signing is. Did you see it? But I felt like it was at the mall somewhere. And long queue, abantu bazosayina. Apparently there's a guy who's number 7 on the queue, who's really handsome. I really think that guy, guys, the producers went and found a cool guy, Bambega Wabao number 7 on the queue, so that it's a recreation of what happened when he met Umuhale, because I thought it was too much of a coincidence for this guy to be number 7 on the queue to come and get his book signed by Somizi, just the same way that Umuhale did. And the guy was cute, whatever. They have just a short conversation, but Somizi is like, no, this time I'm not doing it. Yes, bamba, because I don't want to go through the same thing I went through with I guess the ex-husband. And yeah, and then he goes to meet Utando, you guys, whom he calls his son. He's a TikToker. It's funny because Usomizi is being warned by all of his friends to be careful about the people that he's bringing around him, but here he is meeting kids on TikTok and becoming their dad all of a sudden. Yeah, but that situation, guys, it just depends how you look at it. I mean, it could be an innocent situation, but it might not. And if it's not, we will find out too late that it was not, But I do find it weird that this is a child. Well, he's not a child. I guess he is an adult, but he's very young. Met on TikTok. Now they are meeting, call each other dad and son now. And yeah, I guess, they've become friends. It's weird that number one, people are warning him, listen, stop this thing around you, because they also there's also that situation of a guy that had booked him for an event, but then Usomizi said he wasn't booked because he wasn't paid. And then the guy said Usomizi canceled the event because he had refused to do sexual favors for him. They do talk about that as well. He says, there was never but say is on divorce. How can he deny that? Because there was a there was a Lokuzane voice note where he said, I will give you the thing. He doesn't address that in this episode. There was a voice note where it was Somizi's voice allegedly saying, yes, don't worry, I will give you, But anyway, So I'm saying it's weird that he's still doing things like that when his friends are constantly warning him to stop this thing of bringing everybody into your circle, because you know you don't know who you're going to trust. But on top of that, it's weird because just to be meeting these young people online now, basondeze kuwo for what? Like, you know, is it all the way innocent? You know, are we not justifying thinking about it? And is it all the way innocent, or are you bringing this? You always have to have this new person in your life that you've discovered when that is always much 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 younger than you. I don't know, you guys, how you feel about it. It's weird for me, especially because there's been certain accusations when it comes to him. But I thought, let me watch the show, and you know. And Utat is a TikToker. He's trans and looks very beautiful, guys. I honestly, if nobody told me that he's transgender, I wouldn't have known. Like, I just saw a beautiful girl. They're meeting, and I guess Somizi is just mentoring him. And but even this word of mentoring, because R. Kelly used to mentor people. R. Kelly used to mentor people too. So this mentoring word sometimes, yeah, guys. But I guess if these people are adults, you know, we just have to let them. They will take care of themselves, you know. And it's because the scary part about this situation is that this one person is really in a position of power. So you don't know how far that relationship is taken when the cameras are not there. So it scares me. I don't want to lie, guys, but it might be just innocent. So they're just meeting, and I guess he's just warning him about the fact that it's very important, if you are trans, to disclose. You know, make sure that before you go and meet that person, you have disclosed that you are. I know it's a painful thing, guys, that they have to say before, if someone is asking you on a date, oh, do you know that I'm trans? I'm not really like, you know, I'm a trans woman, or I'm a trans man, so that, you know, you don't end up being killed because somebody has done things with you that they didn't think, because other people just say trans as if you're a man, you're a man, if you are a woman, you're a woman. So you can't come here now, you were a man, now you're a woman, you know. So I guess, and that was a good thing, because it's a dangerous situation to be in if you get into a relationship with somebody and you do not disclose. And yeah, but they're calling each other son and father and whatever. I find it weird, guys, because we hardly ever see Somizi with his daughter, but here he is spending time with kids, right, that he's met randomly on TikTok, you know. And we hardly ever see him sit down with his daughter and have lunch or have whatever. And his daughter is there having complaints about how much she doesn't feel close enough to him as a father. But here he's around here offering himself as a father to other kids. I find that to be interesting. And then, yeah, there is a scene where I think, honestly, Usomizi should win. Like, what is the awards that are won in South Africa for actors and whatever? Because he must win a summer award or something, because yeah, he can act. Yeah, but this one he was acting lapayano. So he goes to these people that made his ring. Remember when he was going to propose, made his ring. I guess he wants the ring changed into something else, or he still wants it to be a ring, but just for it to not look like it does. And then he says, okay, then he starts telling them, I guess for him it was he was coming full circle kind of a moment. And he's talking about okay, his relationship, we never thought it will end or whatever. And then he starts, guys, and then aqaleke manje akhanule izinyembezi. Yazi inyembezi ke zingafuni ukuphuma. Inyembezi ngezingafuni ukuphuma, kufiwe nje, kufe umuntu, inyembezi zivele zithi angizi. Inyembezi zika Somizi zathi angizi. Waxayiza afuna kuphuma inyembezi zazi angizi. Finally, I think he thought about his late mom or something, because finally inyembezi zele. Then that scene was so unnatural for me, you guys, because the first, you know, like I'm wearing glasses. If I cry right now, I'm gonna do this. My hands are gonna go to my eyes. You know, when you are crying, like really crying, naturally crying, your hands are going to hurt. But Jenna, the tears just came. and he was talking and not wiping at all, and I'm like, I don't know, I didn't buy that scene, guys. I didn't buy that scene. I think it was the producer said this is the time for you to show some kind of emotion relating to this relationship. I really just feel like Somizi, when it comes to this relationship, she just feels like good riddance. That's how he feels like. It feels like that to me. But he feels he wants sympathy of the viewers. So that's why he's creating these scenes where he's crying. It didn't feel natural to me. I didn't feel emotional with him. I was like, wipe those tears, Pela Somizi. Ziyasulu inyembezi. No more scientists inyembezi ziyasulu. So it just didn't. It didn't do it for me. But anyway, guys, there was the episode for today. I can't say that I enjoyed it that much. Oh, there was also that scene where he's planning a brunch or something, and his assistant asked him if Titi should come, and he was not happy about that. I guess they're still not friends with Titi. Anyway, that was the episode for today, guys. That is my review. Please like the video before you share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.